述美軍嘅消息，兩個航空母艦戰鬥群小鷹號同尼米茲號正部署喺台灣以東海域。李偉達報導。
小鷹號星期二已經離開日本橫須賀港。美國國防部官員透露，航空母艦目前正喺西太平洋地區。台灣星期六大選期間仍然會繼續留守進行軍事演習。有關官員話，航空母艦現時所在嘅位置唔足以對大陸構成挑釁，不過一旦情況有變，美方都有能力回應。小鷹號1961年服役，排水量超過6萬噸。隔30秒就可以有一架戰機升空執行任務。過往多次台灣大選，美軍都有派艦隊開到台海附近。04年陳水扁總統連任，小鷹號喺菲律賓北方演練。96年台灣大選前，解放軍喺台灣海峽進行演習，試射導彈。台海局勢緊張，美方甚至由波斯灣調動尼米茲號喺台海附近一帶集結。無線電視記者李偉達報導。
轉睇下其他嘅消息，新華社證實甘肅、四川等地日前有騷亂，其中星期日喺四川亞伯，警員自衛開槍打傷4個暴徒。而本台收到西藏拉薩騷亂前幾日僧人同當局對峙嘅片段。何家明報導。
大批僧人喺拉薩街頭同執法人員對峙，有人掟雜物，有人潑水。執法人員用盾牌遮擋，又築成幾層嘅人牆。有人踢向盾牌，部分僧人上前勸阻。而中央電視台晚上播出14號拉薩爆發騷亂嘅過程，最初係有僧人喺小超寺附近向民警掟石，到下晝市內多處有人搞事，有人當街吉人，電單車司機亦都遭殃，多處都有人燒車同縱火。當局拉咗24人，自首嘅就有近170人。英國廣播公司同美聯社分別報導，解放軍調動至少幾十部車到西藏。路透社就報導，爆發過衝突嘅甘肅夏河同喺四川，軍方都有大型調動。當局就證實，甘肅夏河、馬曲同四川嘅阿壩早前有人衝擊政府建築物、學校同商店。外交部就呼籲外國人暫時唔好到四川同甘肅。無線電視記者何家明報導。
流亡印度嘅達賴喇嘛話，希望同國家主席胡錦濤會面，商討西藏嘅局勢。但北京話現階段同達賴冇對話嘅條件。美國國務卿賴斯就希望中國克制。楊子陽報導。
達賴喇嘛話擔心當局鎮壓拉薩騷亂會造成嚴重傷亡，只要北京表達願意對話，佢隨時可以去北京同中國領導人見面。佢又重申唔支持西藏獨立，但係承認部分藏民抱有不切實際嘅想法。大外交部發言人秦剛批評達賴幕後策劃西藏分裂活動同拉薩嘅騷亂，強調除非達賴真正放棄藏獨立場，先至可以為雙方對話創造條件。秦剛又指，部分外國傳媒報道拉薩騷亂嘅手法同事實嚴重不符，要求新聞媒體以負責任嘅態度客觀報導。各地繼續有聲援西藏藏民嘅示威。喺尼泊爾首都加德滿都，警方拘捕多名示威嘅僧人，阻止佢哋喺當地嘅聯合國辦事處外靜坐。另外喺日本，亦都有百幾人喺東京遊行，要求中國停止對付藏人嘅示威。無線電視記者楊子陽報導。
廣州一個女人接受抽脂同隆胸手術之後死亡。內地傳媒報道，個29歲嚟自江西嘅女人，星期一喺白雲區一間美容醫院接受抽脂同隆胸手術之後暈倒，之後病情急轉直下，轉送去空軍醫院之後證實死亡。家屬懷疑同手術有關，又質疑院方嘅搶救程序。廣州衛生部門已經介入調查。翻嚟本港，北角妓女被殺案，警方拉咗一個32歲涉案嘅男人，未知道佢嘅身份。疑犯晏晝4點幾由油麻地警署被押返灣仔警察總部，有組織罪案及三合會調查科接受進一步調查。而 疑犯凌晨大約2點喺柴灣被捕，佢黑布蒙頭帶上警方嘅客貨車載走。消息透露，警方正聯絡死者嘅家人，包括佢嘅丈夫，搜集進一步資料。而喺北角嘅兇案現場，大門仍然上鎖。警方喺附近嘅單位貼出告示，提醒戶主要盡快聯絡佢哋協助調查。協助性工作者嘅組織紫藤對有疑犯落網表示高興，但係擔心仍然有人會模仿犯案，呼籲性工作者加強警惕，亦都希望警方積極處理佢哋嘅求助。遇害嘅27歲妓女星期一被發現倒斃喺電氣道96號一個單位嘅浴室裏面，全身赤裸。而涉及另外3宗妓女被殺案嘅巴基斯坦籍男子星期三提堂，被控3項謀殺罪，還押警方看管，下個星期2再提堂。一個男人喺元朗白沙村上山採藥嘅時候，俾捕獸器夾傷。陳家明報導。
消防員用牛壓鉗打開個捕獸器，53歲受傷嘅男人左腳被夾傷。
10點零鐘喺褲袋啊！
個男人朝早9點幾上山採藥，行到去公庵路白沙村後山嘅時候，被捕獸器夾傷。
哦，咩草藥嚟㗎？你諗住掹嗰啲？
止痕嘅。
止痕㗎？
你睇我啲腳，你睇都好痛。
現場消息話，傷者受傷報案之後，消防員用咗大半個鐘頭先至揾到佢。咁救護員為佢急救之後，將佢送去博愛醫院治理。有附近嘅村民話，以往山上都有野豬出沒，相信係好耐之前有人喺山坡裝置捕獸器嚟到捉野豬。如果市民要喺呢啲山坡安裝捕獸器，就一定要領有狩獵牌照，否則就係違法。一經定罪，最高可以被罰款5萬蚊。無線電視記者陳家明報道。
接連出現老鼠嘅元氣壽司旺角朗豪坊分店停業。食環署朝早喺店內發現老鼠出沒嘅蹤跡，已經口頭警告商戶。專家話店內冇另裝假天花，可能令到老鼠容易進入。今個月5號有食客喺店內嘅回轉帶發現老鼠，到今個星期2，職員亦都喺天花板發現老鼠。再多3個細路女懷疑因為流感嘅併發症入院，其中一個7歲嘅女童出現心肌炎嘅併發症，喺瑪嘉烈醫院深切治療部留醫，情況嚴重。另一個3個月大嘅 BB 女因為嚴重肺炎併發症，喺威爾斯親王醫院深切治療部留醫，情況穩定。仲有一個2歲嘅女童亦都感染嚴重嘅肺炎，入住屯門醫院，情況穩定。另外，觀塘一間安老院爆發流感，3個人染病。劉顯輝對你講體育。
好啊，唔該。碧咸獲得英格蘭代表隊嘅重召，領隊卡比路公佈下個星期有賽法國嘅30人初選名單，效力洛杉磯銀河嘅碧咸入選，有望第100次為代表隊上陣。英格蘭超級足球聯賽榜首嘅曼聯贏保頓2-0。曼聯星期日要對利物浦，呢場收起部分主力，靠一個基斯坦奴都夠贏9分鐘混戰中先開紀錄。做埋隊長嘅基斯坦奴再以一腳招牌式罰球為曼聯全取3分。德國杯拜仁慕尼黑2-0擊敗和夫斯堡入決賽，2個入波都喺下半場出現。列貝利先喺60分鐘射入領先，相隔6分鐘高盧斯喺門前保中，拜仁會同多蒙特爭冠軍。NBA 火箭連贏22場之後連輸2場。佢哋以21分之差輸咗俾黃蜂，紅衫嘅火箭上場被塞爾特人終止連勝紀錄之後仲未回復。
During this weekend's Taiwanese election, one of the vessels is the USS Kitty Hawk. The 2 aircraft carriers and their support ships will remain east of the island through Saturday's vote. A U.S. defense official said the 2 carriers are not near enough to provoke Beijing, but will be able to respond if needed. In the United States, protests, political bickering, and promises to stay the course mark the 5th anniversary of the war in Iraq. President George W. Bush conceded the war has been harder and more expensive than anticipated, but insisted it has been worth it. James LaGilia reports.
It was 5 years ago on March 19th that American-led coalition forces invaded Iraq. 3 weeks later, Baghdad fell. 6 weeks after that, U.S. President George W. Bush made an announcement that will forever mar his legacy.
Major combat operations in Iraq have ended. In the Battle of Iraq, the United States and our allies have prevailed.
Those words turned out to be premature. Of the nearly 4,000 U.S. deaths in Iraq, 97% occurred after he said that. But 5 years on, Bush says he has no regrets.
There's an understandable debate over whether the war was worth fighting, whether the fight is worth winning, and whether we can win it. The answers are clear to me. Removing Saddam Hussein from power was the right decision, and this is a fight America can and must win.
On the Democratic side, the debate over good war, bad war ended a long time ago. The argument now is who can best end it.
Who do you trust to end a war? Someone who opposed the war from the beginning, or someone who started opposing it when they started preparing a run for president?
I have been outlining plans as to what we can and must do to begin bringing our sons and daughters home. I am convinced that we can start within 60 days.
It can't come soon enough for hundreds of anti-war protesters who demonstrated in Washington and San Francisco. But on previous anniversaries, tens of thousands marched and hundreds of thousands rallied on occasions leading up to the invasion. James Lagilia, TVB News.
Al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden has threatened the European Union with grave punishment for publication of cartoons mocking the Prophet Muhammad. In an audio recording posted on the internet, bin Laden said the drawings were part of a new crusade in which Pope Benedict XVI was involved. The Vatican dismissed the allegation. Denmark, for its part, says its threat level remains unchanged despite bin Laden's warning. The reprinting of the cartoon in Danish newspapers has sparked fears Danes could be targeted. Back locally, a man had his leg caught in a hog trap today in Yuen Long. It had been set up for catching wild boar. The man was hiking up a hill trying to collect Chinese medicinal herbs when the accident happened. Mona Lam has details.
The 53-year-old man was in agony when firemen tried to free his leg from the hog trap. It collapsed on his left leg while he was hiking up a hill near Pak Sha Chun in Yuen Long around 9 o'clock this morning. I was there to collect some Chinese medicinal herbs to ease the itch on my leg, he said. Sources at the scene said it took firefighters more than half an hour to locate the injured man after he called the police for help. He was taken to Pok Oi Hospital after paramedics gave him first aid treatment at the scene. Residents from nearby villages said wild boars used to frequent hills in the area. They believe the hog trap was set up years ago. According to government regulations, it's illegal for members of the public to set up hog traps unless they have permits for hunting. The maximum penalty for the offense is a $50,000 fine. Mona Lam, TVB News.
Health officials today inspected a sushi restaurant in Langham Place in Mong Kok. They gained notoriety after a rat was photographed there several weeks ago. The eatery has now been shut down after another rat sighting. Jenny Lam reports.
Genki Sushi at Langham Place has been closed since yesterday. A notice outside says the restaurant is shut for renovation. This was what a customer saw at the restaurant a couple of weeks ago. A mouse standing right next to plates of sushi going around on a conveyor belt. The restaurant remained open after the photo was posted on the internet. It was only closed yesterday when staff saw another rat scurrying inside the false ceiling of the premises. Genki Sushi is one of many eateries at the food court at Langham Place Mall in Mong Kok. Customers we talked to didn't seem too bothered by the mouse on the sushi belt. We eat out all the time, and if we think there is a hygiene problem with the restaurant, we just go there less often, one of them told us. Vermin expert Chan Chak Sam said the false ceiling design at Genki Sushi creates hiding places for mice and rats. The rodents don't necessarily live in the restaurant, but can easily gain access there by running around the open false ceiling space. A spokesman for Langham Place said they have had a big cleanup in the food court since the mouse was spotted. Jenny Lam, TVB News.
In sports, David Beckham has been